Have you ever felt that just when you're in a rush, the world seems to move in slow motion? That's exactly what happened to Chai Nice, an unemployed single mother heading to a job interview crucial for her future. With a list of mounting debts at home, she knew this was her one chance to start over. But in the middle of her race against time, a police officer pulled her over. With her heart pounding, she began searching for her documents in the glove compartment, confident she hadn't broken any laws. The issue? Faulty taillights. Just when she thought her chance was slipping away, the officer did something unexpected. Instead of giving her a ticket, he checked her car's electrical system and called for help to fix the problem. Thanks to his empathy and quick action, Chai Nice made it on time. Not only that, but she also got the job she so desperately needed. Later, she shared her story on social media, thanking the officer for going beyond his duties. It reminded us that sometimes, kindness appears in the most unexpected moments, changing not just a day, but a life. This story shows us that a small act of empathy can make a big difference. May we all be able to see the opportunity to help, because we never know who might need a kind gesture at just the right moment. This is the story of Tisha and Kevin, a couple who proved that kindness always comes back around. With 5 children of their own, they never imagined they would end up caring for 3 more. It all started with an unexpected request from their neighbor Audrey, a single mother and family friend. Audrey had been feeling unwell and scheduled a doctor's appointment, but her babysitter couldn't make it in time. Without a second thought, Tisha and Kevin agreed to take care of the kids, even with their home already full of life and laughter. That day, Audrey returned from the doctor with news that would change her life forever. She had terminal stomach and esophageal cancer. With time against her, Audrey faced a painful decision, ensuring her children would be in good hands once she was gone. With no close family, her only hope lay in those neighbors who had always supported her. Through tears, she explained her situation to Tisha and Kevin and shared her last wish, that they would care for her children. With heavy hearts, the couple agreed. A few days later, Audrey passed away, leaving her children in a home filled with love. Suddenly, the family grew from 7 to 10, and while space was limited and resources tight, Tisha and Kevin were determined to make it work. Their story caught the attention of a television crew, who decided to surprise the family with a home renovation, creating comfortable rooms for everyone and stocking their pantry with a year's worth of food. They also received a spacious van to transport the whole family, a gift they never imagined. Tisha and Kevin were moved beyond words, feeling that everything they had done was simply the right thing to do. Now, they live happily with their own children and Audrey's, forming a big family that demonstrates the power of good deeds. We believe that things happen for a reason, and that when we meet certain people in life, it's to teach them something or learn from them. Therefore, today's story will demonstrate this. Gina Miller is a married woman who works as a paramedic in California. Previously, she was a police officer for 14 years. In those days, she met a homeless man by a dumpster, searching for something to eat. When Gina approached, he was about to leave, but she asked him to stay. "I just want to get to know you," she said. The man, surprised, began to talk to her about his life. He said he used to be a happy man with a good job, almost everything he needed, a loving wife, and plans to have children. But Gina, intrigued, asked him, "How did you end up on the street?" The man took a deep breath and replied, "My wife got seriously ill and died of cancer. I lost my faith because God didn't save her. When she died, my hope went with her." The man explained how his life turned into a disaster. He started using drugs, lost his job and home, and had been living on the streets ever since, eating whatever he could find in the trash. Moved by his story, Gina decided to help him. She asked him to make a promise. "You must start over, and I will help you." She gave him $10 to buy food and promised she would return the next day. Days went by, and Gina continued to help the man. Every day, they met in the park and talked about his progress. She convinced him to go to a rehabilitation center. Little by little, he began to change his appearance and his life. However, one day he did not show up for their usual meeting. Gina went to the rehabilitation center in search of him, but there was no news. After many days of searching, she thought he had given up once again. Over the years, Gina graduated as a paramedic, got married, started a family, and moved to California. One day, while she was in a gas station store, she noticed a man staring at her. Just before leaving, he approached her and asked, "Do you remember me?" It took Gina 2 seconds to recognize her old friend. He had kept his promise after 14 years. He explained that he had found a job in construction but couldn't return to the city due to his busy schedule. Weeks later, when she visited the park, she no longer saw him and thought he had moved. She felt sad because she never had the chance to thank him for what he had done for him until that day. Fate brought them together again, after 14 years and hundreds of miles from where they first met. That day, 2 adults cried like children, but out of happiness. One entered the life of the other to teach and learn, to give and regain hope. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe to see more wonderful content that will brighten your day. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9.